Boom! What's up, my friends? Very excited to be here. We are nearing the end of the One Funnel Away Challenge, and I hope you guys have felt a little elevation in your ability to go execute and get stuff done. The types of things that we look at to make things successful on the internet, not just online, actually, offline as well. Same process, no difference. Internet doesn't change anything except for your speed. Hey, so what we're going to talk about today is we're talking about multiple ways to starting to get traffic, right? And that's kind of what we're starting to turn you guys into. Is before we like just say, hey, here's how to drive Facebook ads, we need to teach you, here's multiple thought processes behind different kinds of traffic, right? Number one, you can earn your way in, or number two, you can buy your way in. And we've been talking a lot about earning your way in. Yesterday was about the Dream 100, and today's kind of a little bit more about the Dream 100 as well. It's because we know that it takes a little bit of time to actually get your Dream 100 out the door. Okay, as we move forward, though, we're going to talk about buying your way in. And I believe we have a super awesome lesson for you guys as well. More about Julie's been going through. Please don't miss her lessons. She has been going through with you guys a little bit more about Facebook, how to set things up, get things going, and this is always the fun part where I start to see a lot of you guys make your first few bucks through a funnel, which is so exciting. So anyways, hey, a few announcements though. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab, let me just drop in here oh, there it is. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to drop in here in the chat the announcements, okay? OFAreview.com, only because some of you guys have been asking, okay? OFAreview.com is the live funnel critique drawing. We will be choosing that. I think tomorrow is when I will announce who they are. So then on Friday, I can bring you guys in, which would be awesome. I can bring you guys in and I'll share screens. I'll bring you guys, just give me your URLs ahead of time and I'll tell you how to do that. And then One Funnel Away coaching. I'm sorry, onefunnelaway.com/unboxing. Okay, that is the URL if you guys want to be entered into the contest. He's giving away things like funnel hacking live tickets to the future, you know, cash, program things. He switches it up, okay? But just know that it's super easy to enter into it. Plus, what we do is we teach you how to put your affiliate link for this program at different places, and we give $100 commissions. So everything that you've paid to be in here, you just get back immediately. Super easy. A lot of people make a lot of extra cash that way, which is awesome. Need the box first. Totally understand. I would too. Okay, and then lastly, third thing, stay tuned, guys. What we're doing is we actually have a super cool, some of you guys may have seen others doing this, okay, it's a super cool One Funnel Away t-shirt. Anyway, it's very easy to get it. We'll tell you guys more about how to get that, I think tomorrow. So, awesome. Guys, okay, what we're going to talk about is how to earn traffic or earn eyeballs, okay, earn attention. I used to do a lot of backpacking growing up. I grew up in Littleton, Colorado, which is right pushed up against the foothills, the Rocky Mountains there. And so I skied my face off. We did tons of backpacking. I did lots of camping. I was very outdoorsy. I'm not as outdoorsy right now, but certainly we'll get back to that. But growing up, though, I did a lot outdoors, and we did a lot of backpacking. This one time we were up backpacking, we did... it was a 3-week backpacking trip. 3 weeks. This is a long time. 3-week backpacking trip, and we used ice axes and ice picks and all that stuff to climb up the side of the Continental Divide. And we went for 2 weeks. We refueled for a day, and then we went for another week after that. And it was a ton of fun. It's probably like 15, 20 of us in this group. And the way we did it is we had little places throughout that we would stop when we'd refuel our supplies, right? Water, food, stuff like that. We had these water pumps, and we would just stop in creeks that we had planned along the way and just refuel our water and pump water right there. And it was a lot of fun. Until like the last few days. We went and we were going up with super high elevation. Some people, you know, suffering from high elevation, you know, sickness, altitude sickness. And, you know, there's sometimes little hallucinations that can happen to those kinds of people in those scenarios. And we'd go way above tree line, then a little bit below it, then way above it, then a little below it. And our last day... it was our last couple days. We were going to go refuel water, right? You need a lot of water. And especially when you're high altitude, it does a lot to your noggin, right? And we were going to go refuel water at this creek. It's in the middle of summer. And we go to this creek, and it's totally dried up. And this lake that was supposed to be there, it was gone. Like completely. Either someone had drained the thing, or I don't know, but it was completely dry. And we're standing in the middle of this riverbed that's completely dry, and there's supposed to be like an actual river, not just a creek, like a river, okay? And we get there and there's nothing. I was like, oh my gosh. It was it was kind of freaky. And so we're standing there and we're trying to figure out what to do. And so we're not supposed to go back to another camp for like 48 more hours. And that's a long time to go with that much water, especially backpacking with all your gear and all your stuff. And so I'll tell you the thing that we didn't do. We did not take shovels out and just start digging right there to get water, okay? Okay, that would be stupid. We'd probably die before we hit it, okay? And so what we did, though, is we went and we looked on maps and we found another creek, and we found that we pooled all of our water together, which is a little bit gross, but we did it to live, you know, and we got all of our water together and we rationed our water out. And I remember being so thirsty that night going to sleep. The crazy, insane headaches, because you're working hard. I mean, we were going a lot of miles each day, and to not be able to refuel after that and rehydrate was rough. Right? So we go in and we didn't just start digging for water, right? We went and we rationed out the water, we pulled it together, but then we went and we found another source where we could get water from, and it was fine. Okay, what's the point of the story? Call it cheesy as you may. The point of the story is that many of the times when I see people go toss out a funnel, okay, here's the bridge, okay, here's the bridge to it. Okay, most of the time when someone builds a funnel, they're like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna build my own following, which you should. Right? I'm going to go build my own following, but that takes time. That takes sometimes some money. That takes a lot of effort. You need to want it, okay, in order to build your own following. Or you just go talk to the other river owner, okay? It's so much. Guys, traffic already exists. You don't create traffic. I need to go create some traffic for my funnel. That's not true. That's actually very false. Okay? Traffic already exists. People are already on the internet. They're already searching for things. There are, we think of it like rivers, okay? Rivers and flows all over the place, right? That we're not creating. We're just capturing. We're siphoning off part of it. And so one of the reasons why we're talking so heavily about this is that, like, you got to understand this concept with traffic. Regardless of the traffic method you end up going for, I recommend everybody go through Facebook ads, because pretty much every single demographic is represented on Facebook. At least do Facebook and follow what Julie's teaching you to get those out the door. But on top of that, right, go start creating relationships with these influencers like I was teaching yesterday. And you go in and what you do, you start getting relationships with them, and these people have spent far longer than you probably have been in the game building an audience, building a following, right? They can go in and they serve and they help them, they're their company, and they put their products out to them. Well, it's way easier, my gosh, to like dig your own river for sure. It's like insurance to this whole game to have a following. It'll feed you the rest of your life, right? There's a great article called "The 1,000 True Fans" that talks about how in order to really make it on there, all you need is 1,000 true fans. That's not that hard, okay? Because when you're pitching people and you're putting stuff out to them, you got 10,000 people on a list, but 1,000 of them are like a true diehard fans. Like, that's awesome. That's exactly what you want. Okay, and that's a lot where the sustainability comes from in this game. 1,000 is not hard to get. So what it's easier to go do, right? Number one, still curate your own following, but number two, at the same time in tandem, right? Your role shifts. Okay, my role in my company is not to always be an entrepreneur. The faster, like, as soon as I have a good product, the faster I can move from entrepreneur to CEO. Is when this game becomes sustainable. It's when I'm able to actually not just be in a hustle mode for the rest of my life, okay? Because most of the time, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm gonna create, but then you don't end up making any systems and stuff like that to actually sustain you in this life, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you to do is that as soon as you have this funnel out the door and you see that traffic is starting to come in, your role changes. And your role changes as in the business from product creator to full-time, where can I get more sources of traffic guy. Okay, you're just looking for more kinds of traffic. That's all, and more kinds of traffic. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna You should be able to turn on your funnel soon. We've gone and we walked you through the creation of the actual sales message, which is just a bunch of stories usually. The actual offer, and you've had people going in and creating it. You're following Julie. She's helping you actually get the funnel out the door. This part though, like as soon as you get that traffic to it, there's one of three things that are gonna happen. And I just want to reset your expectations of what's going to happen as you get this out the door. Number one, please understand that pretty much every funnel that even Russell and I launch, they're not failures at the door. They just don't necessarily always make a lot of money, especially when it comes to ads. If we're dropping our funnels and our URLs and we're launching products to our followings, it's pure profit. We own that traffic, right? So we take that cash and then we go dump it into ads. That first jump out into ads usually is a little bit less than break even, okay? So we don't go dump like tens of thousands of dollars. We'll go put like $500. Okay, even Russell, even myself. But there's no reason to go waste crap tons of money like all these other companies do with these huge marketing budgets. It makes no sense to me. If they just learned a little bit of direct response marketing, it would change the world. Anyway, so we go and we test it, right? We test it, and it almost always fails at the gate. As soon as we go as soon as we go to like Facebook ads, okay. Then we'll look at the funnel and we'll let the market decide what we need to change. That is so insanely key on what I just said. I don't look at it and say, what would I change here? I look at it after like 1,000 people have gone through and I say, what is everyone telling me I should change here? Okay, that's a different source of data and it completely changes the game. Okay, it's so much, it should be alleviating. Oh my gosh, you mean I don't have to be a creative genius? I don't have to know how to do all this stuff? Okay, so then I'm going in and I'm looking, oh my gosh, it looks like my upsell is a little bit lower than what I would expect. And if you're like, what do I expect? Like, go post it in the ClickFunnels group. People help all the time are looking at each other's numbers and helping each other out, okay? Or come join one of our other programs that we have after these, okay? Okay, that's what we do, right? We help you go from that spot to 2 Comma Club. From there to 2 Comma Club X. That's what our programs are. Okay, so we go from right traffic that we own. We're gonna go out and we launch it. We're gonna take that cash. We go and that's the way I do it anyway, personally. And then I go and I put it into ads, so none of it's coming from my own pocket. Usually I don't put all the money in, so it's a little bit less than break even. But I'm looking to see where the holes are. Hello, market. You're the one giving me the money. What I should ask what your opinions are, not mine. Oh, OTO number 1 is bad. Let me go take that out. Let me come up with something new. Maybe the offer was bad. I don't know. Let me just change it. Let me plug it back in. And it's this game where all you're doing is testing, but it's really safe testing. Okay? I'm usually not testing things like button color, you know? I'm not testing things like micro level split tests. I never get into that. I'm not gonna I probably should, but I never get into that. I do macro level split testing. I do macro level testing. This page, something's wrong with it. Let me change the whole offer and put the whole thing back in. Okay, so don't think you have to be like this crazy scientist either. I gotta get deep into split testing. I'm not saying you can't make more money if you do. You will. Okay, but you don't need to if you're gonna make a lot of cash as well, right? Anyway. So, Rachel said, elaborate, let the market decide. Yeah, 100%. Meaning, I'm going to look in there, and if the market is not buying, who I'm asking to buy, they're not buying OTO number 1, the market voted. I let them vote with their wallets and not their mouths. So I'm going to go in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like not as many, this page is not converting like it probably should be. Let me take that out and change it, and I'm just going to put it right back in. Right? I'm only testing one thing at a time. Then what we do is that we'll go back and we'll relaunch it back to ads. And that's usually the second launch will break even. Okay? And as we're launching it, so it's a series of launches. And you're building this crazy asset, guys. So the second launch is usually when we break even. That's when I'm starting to look at the numbers again, Market, what are you telling me that you like, that you don't like? You're the one filling my wallet, not me, right? What are your opinions on this? Oh my gosh! I probably need a few more people seeing those last few pages. I should make my first page more curiosity based. Let's get more people coming in on that squeeze page. Let's open more loops. Let's make it more curious. Let's put more scarcity and urgency. How can we do that? So if I don't know what to do, how can I build more scarcity and urgency? I'll go look at other pages, other people's industries. I'll go look at other that I know that are converting and looking for things on their page I could add to mine to make the curiosity go up. And that's exactly what I've done many times, and it works quite well. Then I'll take that money that came in and I'll go dump it back into ads, and it's usually the third round that we will be putting $1 in and getting $1.50 or $2 back out. Okay, and it's usually how we do it. And I'm just trying to reset expectations with this so that you know, oh my gosh, that's normal. Okay, that's totally normal for that to happen. What we have as a framework, right? We have these patterns and these models that we know get you really close to the mark, and just toss it out there, right? But since you're not filling your wallet, we're not filling your wallet, right? Your customers are. You still got to get their feedback. So that's what we're doing with these. We're having you go through, follow these patterns that follow basic human psychology and sales. Okay, and offer creation, funnel building, the stuff that we know as a rule works, not flash in the pan crap, those kind of junk strategies. And we're having you go through this. Then you toss it out, get the cash, and see what the market's telling you. Oh my gosh, they want this more. And we're like, sweet. And I've had people come back to me sometimes like, but Steven, you didn't teach that. I'm like, yes, but they're the ones telling you, okay, not me. Yeah, you follow the patterns, and then you toss it out there, and then you see, oh my gosh, the market's voting. Right, and you follow with the market. They're the ones paying you. Okay, so Anyway, hopefully that makes sense though. So what we're doing with this though is when we talk about traffic that you earn, notice that a lot of times these influencers have already gone through all of that work, and it's the reason why we have you go create relationships with influencers who are open to doing little joint ventures with you, right? Or promoting your thing. They've already gone through all that work. They've done the testing. They know how things work inside the internet for their industry. And then they can go in and promote your thing and get all this traffic. And it's just, that's that awesome pop shop money that I was talking about yesterday, right? Boom, big old stacks of revenue. I have several friends that all they do is the Dream 100. They don't do any paid ads. They could never get paid ads to work for their thing. They don't do any affiliate stuff. All they do is Dream 100. That's it. They publish and they do Dream 100, and they make multiple six figures a year just doing that. They're just searching for the right person to go drop and do a promotion with, and they create a relationship with them, and then boom, lots of cash. And then they go find the next person, boom, lots of cash. It's so much easier to leverage the followings and the lists and the audiences created by others. And I keep saying that same thing over and over again, but it's like we all want to be like introverted entrepreneurs behind our computer screen and not talk to anybody. Okay. Like, you're massively going to cut your earnings in half, if not more than that. Okay, this game does not take out the human element. All it does is it automates my sales message and a lot of the fulfillment. Okay, so I can go and I can automatically pitch people, but don't think like, oh my gosh, well, I'm not going to go. This is why most people I see don't do the Dream 100 after I teach it, or I'll go even do like a lot of stuff to help them set it up, like lots of anyway. They won't go do it because they're like, what it means I got to like talk to people and crap, and you're like, yeah. Yeah, I don't like it either sometimes. Just do it. I am way more, I'm not introverted, but I'm a lot more quiet one-on-one with people than I am on the internet or on a stage or on a show. And so I get it, and I feel the exact same thing, and I've had to overcome that a little bit. And so the way I do it is by adding value, like a marketer would, to their audience, like I was talking about yesterday. One of the coolest guys that ever came out to me, he reached out, and I didn't know what he was. I didn't realize that I was on his Dream 100 list. But he reached out and he bought one of the products I was selling at the time. This is a couple years ago. And he bought the product, and then he paid for his own coders to go in and upgrade the stuff, upgrade my product. And then he filmed a quick start guide. And then he handed both the upgraded software and the quick start guide back to me and said, hey, it's just a gift. I thought it's a neat, cool, extra additional features, plus that your audience might like. Plus I gave you like a quick start guide, so you didn't have to worry about supporting it at all. Just go ahead and plug it in. You'll probably make more sales. And I was like, who are you? That was awesome. Are you kidding me? Like, that's so cool, right? And I stepped back and I was like, I will never forget his name. It was about 5 weeks later that he reached back out and he said, hey, can I have you be the featured interview on this members area and in this program that I'm putting out? What do you think I said? Absolutely, right? He moved forward on what I was moving forward on. That's the whole point. It's not a package sending game. It is me gathering relationships, helping them get what they are already in motion to try and go get, and it's so much easier after that. It actually gives them mental shelf space to even think about you. Because most of the time, that's the real issue. Like, people are like, Steven, can you come promote my thing? No. I'll pay you a lot of money. No. Right? What? Someone offered $1 million last Funnel Hacking Live, and I was like, no. They're like, you got to be joking me. I was like, no. They're like, what? Are you kidding me? I was like, no, I'm not kidding you. No. They're like, why? I was like, because I'm focused. I got my own thing. It's already in momentum. It's in motion. It takes a long time to do that stuff. I'm not going to abandon everything just for the sake of a quick burst of cash. Okay? Even if it is that amount of money. Okay, I'm going to go. It's the same thing with all these other influencers. You have to sit back and think about like what they're already moving towards. Help them get a little bit of what they want already. And then they have mental shelf space that they'll allocate to you. And then you can go in and you start getting more access to their followings. All right. Really easy to get them on a podcast or a show, whatever you do then. Really easy to say, hey, I'm doing a summit, or hey, I'm doing this promotion, or hey, I'd love to be able to just, you mind dropping this link out? I mean, I would usually do a full-out webinar or whatever, but you could just drop your affiliate link out to them, add a bonus or two on, and I'll give you, 60%. And it sells this amount, and it does this amount, and that's really, really been helpful. So, anyway, someone said if it's a small enough file under 3 megs, you can put it in ClickFunnels digital assets. I don't know. That's very true. I don't know what that has to do with what I'm talking about. It's funny. Zig Ziglar, you can always get more out of what you want when you help people get others more of what they want. 100% yes, that is it. This is still a relationship-based game, even though we are hiding behind our computers sometimes. And that's the big point I'm trying to get at here. So anyways, understand, please dig your own river, right? Make your own river, but leverage the massive firepower that's already in all these other followings. It takes like half of a lifetime, right, to really create something massive. And these guys have already gone through that. All right, these people have already gone, so go leverage it and just be awesome with it. My kid's name is Rivers. Oh, cool. It's awesome. Hey, so I want to talk to you guys real quick about some additional costs. Okay, there are costs to this game, and I hate spending my own money. And I want to teach you real quick how to spend and get what you want without spending your own cash, okay, or other people's cash. Yeah, yeah. What's up? I was at an event once and this lady stood up, and it was a Q&A section. She stood up and she goes, Steven, is there gonna be like an app with all like the weird sound effects you make? I would love to have that. And I was like, I can't tell if I should be offended or if that's honoring. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, check this out. So there's 4 different costs, right? I was going in. Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. One of the first courses I ever went and I bought, it was one of the first business tries I went through. This was over 7 years ago. I did not know what I was doing in this game at all. In fact, I didn't have game. Okay, I think I went through 17 tries before I got one of these businesses correct. But it wasn't until about business 12 that I figured out what a funnel was, and it was only a few shots before my big one came in, and I was making more than I was at my job. And that's the reason why we're having you guys go through this. This is not conventional wisdom when it comes to business, right? Or marketing. Marketing in mainstream is, what's your logo? Terrible. That's not marketing. Okay, so I went in and I borrowed all this cash. I went in and I paid 15 grand that I didn't have. I borrowed 15 grand to go take stock and options trainings from this guy who later we found out was teaching us old strategies, and he knew that, which I think that's unethical, but that's what he was doing. And which sucked, and I didn't have money to do so, and it was put me in a really hard position. So I kept trying to sell stuff, and I did anything from the stocks and the options that I was going for, and I went into residential and commercial real estate, and I was getting contracts, and I was flipping contracts in the closing period, and I was running, man. I was doing everything that I could. It wasn't that I was just like trying. I was actively doing selling activities. I went and I did diamonds. I was a door-to-door salesman for 2 summers. I was a telemarketer. I sold ebooks on the internet. I sold random supplements. And so I sold, guys, I was in the act of just ferocious, insane selling mode. Like, I had to make it work for like 3 or 4 years before I really got it to. And half of it straight out of desperation, right? And I know a lot of you guys might be feeling that way. I didn't have money to spend on something like traffic. That's why I try and give you guys other avenues to actually get traffic and eyeballs still and attention. I'm telling you the easiest, fastest, most massive longevity that you could ever go give yourself. The biggest present you could give yourself is to go publish consistently. It is free or mostly free for a very, very, very long time. Okay, it is the easiest way to get traffic. It is the easiest way to get stature. It is the easiest ways to ensure your funnels are successful. Publish. Okay, that is one of the fastest ways and hacks to the game ever. After building and doing this with thousands of people now, like, the pattern is stupidly easy and simple to see that's the case. I've seen a lot of people who have extremely crappy offers and sales messages. I mean, they're terrible. Make a ton of money just because, well, they have a podcast. We assign a lot of authority to that, okay, as a culture. So, okay, here we go. So the 4 costs. Number 1, the first cost is your money. And if you're like, Steven, I don't have any money yet, don't worry, there's 3 others, okay? If you're like, I don't have any money, understand that money is faster than time. Mic drop. Ooh, pencil drop. Okay, check this out. Money is faster than time. You eventually want to get to a spot where you can spend money. I was tickled and so excited. I was so proud of myself that my first big funnel, I was not having to spend any money to get traffic to it. It wasn't until a little while later, until somebody reached out. I was taking this course, And this marketer on there said a true marketer will want the ability to spend as much money to acquire customers as possible, because it is more something you can control than just sheer luck of someone finding your thing, or sheer organic finding of someone of your podcast. Not, you should still be doing it though. Okay, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I can control it if it's predictable. Right? That's why I want cash. I want to be able to spend money eventually. I want to be able to predict when I put $1 in, I know I will get $2 back out, and that's been the pattern for the last 5 months, right? Or whatever it is that you find for yourself. Like right now, I know when I put $1 into my main one of my main things, I get at least $5 back out. That's insane. Okay? So why would I do there's no other investment vehicle in my life that could do that, right? Funnels are the best in my opinion. There's nothing else. You're literally, that's one funnel away is not a cute saying. That's really that's the truth. Okay? Anyway, so I realized, oh my gosh, I need to be spending money, right? If I can spend more to acquire a customer, I win. Just like I was talking about yesterday, I was like, I need to break myself of this mentality. I need to actually break my own beliefs like I would one of my own customers. I need to break the belief that, like, I have to spend money, and it will actually make me better and faster and serve more people and make more money. And that's exactly what happened. And so number one, right, I call these the 4 costs. This is the 4 costs. I'm sure someone could find a 5th, but these are the 4 costs that I think of when I'm doing this stuff. Okay, so number one, the first one is right, it's your money, right? And the benefits of it is speed, right? The con of it is that you have to have it, right? I don't want anyone to be dipping into their savings in order to go spend traffic money, right? I would never do that. I'd never do that. I've never spent $1 of my own because of some of these other costs. Okay, the other kind of costs is what a lot of what these stock guys were teaching us, and it makes a sexy sales message, right? Other people's money, right? Or they called it OPM, other people's money. It's a very, very sexy sales message. It's sexy because it's others' money, right? It comes with massive handcuffs. It comes with huge handcuffs. You're either in debt, right, and you got to pay back with interest, or they're going to take a percentage of your company, right? I wager that 99% of the companies on Shark Tank don't even need funding if they just knew how to build a front-end funnel, okay? But they don't know how to do that, and so they go get other people's money to leverage and actually go build the systems that actually make the sales. Okay, what we're teaching is so powerful, you don't need other people's money. And so I'm gonna throw a massive rock and like poo-poo on that strategy. Please, in my humblest opinion, unless you're building a freaking factory or something like that, right? You don't need other people's money. Don't go get a business loan. You don't need it. Okay, just build a front-end funnel, get a little noise, and then all they do is they come buy your thing. You take that money, go reinvest that back into cash, and it's this game of putting money back in. Flip that over 6 or 7 times, and you're rich. Okay, you make way, or at least far more rich than 99% of the human beings on this planet, right? 6 figures is very low for the game that we play. All right, the other cost that's out there that I like is, right, your time, right? If I care about, right, there's 2 different costs. Oh, here we go. I saw the number 2. That's why I said 2. Sorry. But when you think about average cart value and cost to acquire, those are the 2 numbers we care about the most, right? And I want my average cart value to obviously be higher than my cost to acquire. But cost to acquire is not always money cost, right? You will purchase your customer in some fashion. You will. You're either going to buy them with ad money or you're going to buy them with time. But there's 2 kinds of money, and there's actually 2 kinds of time. Right? 2 kinds of money, one being from you and one being from somebody else, or 2 kinds of time. One is your time, as if you're going to go, it's like when I was doing door-to-door, right? I was a door-to-door sales guy, right? And if I wasn't pitching, my funnel wasn't working, right? It's the one-off kinds of time. I love door-to-door sales. I love phone sales. Those are great. Those people make a ton of money because they have hardly any risk. They bring a lot of revenue in for the business. Okay, but there's the 4th kind of cost. It's the 2nd kind of time. And this is why I just like shove publishing down your throat so much, okay? It's your duplicatable time. I don't know another way to call that. It's expanded time. It's time that continues to work for you, okay? It's time when time actually becomes an asset, okay? Duplicated time. Meaning things like a funnel, okay? I am not currently pitching the thousands of people that are hitting my funnels right now. Right now, as I'm doing this with you. It's maybe hundreds, okay? There's hundreds of people seeing my pitches. There's thousands of people seeing my podcast episodes, right? I'm not the one doing it. I am, but I'm not doing it, right? I paid that cost one time when I did the episode. And thousands of people continually come to me and find the stuff that I do because I made that asset on the internet. That thing works for me. I put it on tons of platforms, right? Then there's call to actions and hooks throughout that send them to my funnels. That is time, right? Guys, you want to buy back your time? Don't get sucked into the model of like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to work really, 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 really hard. Yes, you should. But work really, 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 really hard on things that duplicate your time. Okay, the whole goal is for me to turn, right? The benefit of this is that people are getting pitched, like I said, without me doing anything. But time is still time, right? I can duplicate time by the way that I'm putting things out. I build a funnel and now it's all automated. My sales message, I'm not the one doing it anymore. The funnel is, right? More and more hooks out there. All my podcast episodes, I'm not doing it anymore. It's bringing people in. Okay. The whole goal though is to eventually get to a spot where I'm spending my money because it's faster than time. Okay. I can duplicate time. I can do things to bend time, but what's faster than time itself is money. And so if I want to go in and I want to pitch thousands of people, right, it'll happen organically through my show anyway, right? But I could do it tomorrow with like $100 on Facebook. You see what I'm saying? So I do both. And the reason I'm bringing this up, so the goal is to eventually take this, and make it so you're spending your money. And this is like the ultimate leverage. And I repeatedly have people reaching out to me asking things like, Steven, how do you get so much done? How are you all over the place? Do you ever take a break? Heck yeah, man. I like a 12-year-old. I played some freaking video games yesterday. It doesn't look like it though. My crap is all over the place. I didn't make it for this purpose, but there are things all over the creation, right? All over the world, the earth, that are just constantly pitching and putting things out to people. And when they're ready to find me, they find my content. And when people, right, that's like me being there and present when someone's ready to come and pay. When I go out and I'm spending ad money, that's me like dropping in and being an interruption in their life, right? It's like two different forms, two different kinds of intent, okay? And two different kinds of customers that content and then ads go for. That's why I do both. And it's the easiest way to make a lot of money in this really, really quickly. So what I did is I didn't have any money when I started my podcast. I spent $5 a month on a Libsyn.com account that spread my content all over the place. Libsyn, Libsyn, $5 a month, okay, is the starting plan with them. It's awesome. And it repurposed my content in a click all over the internet. And as I started getting more and more noise, I started dropping products out to them. Then I took that money and I spent it as my money instead of borrowing it, which is why it was dumb for Russell when all those VC firms are like, hey, other people's money. He's like, I don't need it. I spend my money more smartly than you know how to spend your money, right? Right. Getting an 18% return is really good in some worlds, but in the funnel world, that's pretty low. You know, it's like the vehicle you chose is low. That's why I play this game and only this game. I hardly ever spend my own time. Okay, if I'm doing high-ticket coaching programs, they're high-ticket because it's my time and I don't get it back. I spend almost all my efforts, all roles in my company are focused on things that are duplicated. I build systems, I build teams, I build products, and I build content that is out there doing things after I'm done with them. Okay, I don't get my time back though. And that's why we're trying to help you guys understand this stuff. If we can get you guys to understand just one time through this whole thing, let's get a front end funnel out the door, get some revenue coming on in, don't you dare take it as profit, and get you rolling it back on itself. We just literally freed you from the rat race. It's so freaking powerful. So hopefully you guys got that. It's kind of a shorter one today, or more of a standard one, but that's what I got for you, okay? We're talking about how to earn your way in. I talked a little bit about buying your way in with ads, but I want you to understand the relationship between those two, okay? Earning your way in and buying your way in. Both are important, but one feeds the other. It's faster to buy your way in. It's way faster, okay? When I know that I wanted to be in Russell's Inner Circle, I said, dude, you let me come in, full price. Don't you dare give me a discount. I understand the value of that. Let me pay you the full amount. I want to own my spot there. I don't want to be given a spot there. And then he said, okay, cool. And I said, cool. Wow, you charge a lot of money for your thing. I knew that, but let me go make the money. So I made the money and I went and I bought my way in. Okay? I can earn my way in. That takes forever. Money's faster than speed. Guys, I just want to say one other thing with this, okay? Questions invite revelation. Okay, I'm going like deeper on some like life principles on this stuff. Okay, I know I'm only 30, but I've been through some stuff. Okay. Questions invite revelation. So if you want to know how to exit this and not get anything done, and you're like secretly hoping to have an out, you will answer that question and you will get an out. Okay, if you're like, Steven, I'm trying to find a way to eventually buy my way in, and those are the questions that consume your mind, you will eventually answer those questions. Questions invite revelation. Okay? And if you want to know, hey, Steven, you know what? I've realized that I went to school and I studied for the sake of a degree, but I never studied money, and I never studied how to make it, and I never studied how to actually sell things. Okay? And I'm here to learn how to do that. That's the biggest question on my mind. I congratulate you. Okay? Don't free yourself from the pressure you're going to have to go through in order to answer that question. Okay, so I'm just pushing you just a little bit more. Just like we got a few more days left of this thing. Okay, stick with it. Do it. Okay, and if you questions invite revelation, you want to relax, you'll find a way to relax. If you want it, you get whatever you want. Okay, it will self-manifest. I totally believe that. I believe it's from God. You can believe for whatever it's you want. But when you say, "Hey, look, I had many nights crying man tears," I'll say they're man tears. They flexed on the way up, so it's still manly, right? But trying to make this work. Okay, it was like 3 years, guys, where it was like constant pounding. I was the only human being in my sphere that was trying to do something like this or anything. I didn't know what funnels were at that time, but I was just trying stuff. I was working my face off, just trying things. And guess what happens when you swing a lot? Eventually, you hit a ball. Okay, you're not gonna hit you hit 0% of the pitches that you don't swing at, right? That's a great quote. I love that quote. You hit 0% of the pitches you don't swing at. Swing, keep swinging. If you're like, Steven, this challenge was so much more than I thought it was going to be. You're like, yeah, I get it. I know it is. Okay. Like, oh my gosh, like just keep swinging the bat. Okay. Or I'm going to reach through and just shake you because I care about you. All right. All right. So anyways, hopefully that's been helpful to you. Questions invite revelation. If you're trying to find a way to still do the things in the challenge, you will, right? I knew that I needed to get creative and find an extra 2 hours in my day to do this kind of work. When I was in college, the army, right? I was doing tons of stuff. I was working for other people, and I still wanted to build funnels. I was like, oh my gosh, like it was insane. I couldn't handle it, right? And but because I decided to handle it, I did handle it. Okay, and it meant other things in my life I had to let go of. Alrighty. My product is my time. If your product is your time, okay, then make sure you sell it for a lot of money. Okay. I never include myself in the offer, right? I am not part of the fulfillment of offer. I want thousands of people, especially if it's low and mid-ticket things. I'm never going to put myself personally in the fulfillment of something that's low or mid-ticket, right? I want thousands of people to buy it. That's not a life, that's a job. Right? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to sell things that deliver like crazy. At the bottom of the value ladder, the products we're having you build is very much do-it-yourself styled products. The middle of the value ladder, a little bit more expensive products, is done with you. Okay, so I'll do things with people, but the most expensive packages, right? Things that are the highest cost on my time is done for you. Those are the done for you things, and they are expensive. And they should be, and they will bring in a better person for it, okay? So I'm telling you, Brooke, I see why you're doing that, and putting your time in a low-ticket thing is one of the easiest things to do because it's very valuable, and people see that, so they pay a lot for it. But the problem is it's hard to charge a lot for it if you put it as a low-ticket thing, and then thousands of people buy it. It's like, it sucks, okay? That's the opposite of what we're trying to build for you guys here. So, Brooke, I totally get it. But, like, if you're going to do it, do group coaching. Don't you dare do one-on-one. In my very strong forward opinion, okay? Yeah, Anchor FM, Brooke 100%. Anchor.fm is great way to do as well. There's several platforms. Podbean, something cast. Anyway, I can't remember what the others are. Hopefully it's been helpful to you, though. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I just want you guys to know, like, yeah, exactly. Do it yourself, done with you, done for you. And that's kind of that's how I think about it when I'm building product categories. I've got all these product categories and I put them. That's what we're having you guys build right now, right? Don't put yourself as part of the fulfillment though. And the next one up, you can do that. I would just do it like one-to-many styled coaching or one-to-many styled time-based things like events, right? It's one-to-many, right? Or summits or seminars or things like that. One-on-one though, that's going high ticket. Okay, because I don't know, I never get that time back, and my time's very valuable, and so is yours. All right, guys, we'll see you later. See you guys tomorrow. Please go watch the videos and understand that we're trying to teach you more ways to earn your way in, which is good, but eventually get it to buy your way in, which is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.